Well, hello, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making a delicious strawberry cake. This is one of my favorite recipes and it's so simple. Now I'm starting with 2 eggs, and these eggs are at room temperature. Anytime you're baking, it's better to use room temperature ingredients. They cook so much better. Now, to these eggs, I'm adding a cup of granulated sugar. I'm using a hand mixer today, and I'm going to blend these eggs and sugar until it's a nice light lemony color. This looks perfect, and I mix this for about 3 minutes, and look at this beautiful color. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm adding the rest of my wet ingredients. I've already measured out a half of a cup of oil. You can use vegetable oil, canola oil, you can even use olive oil in this recipe. It's whatever you prefer. I've also got a half of a cup of heavy cream. And to the heavy cream, I'm going to add half of a cup of sour cream. The sour cream and heavy cream give this cake just a light and creamy texture. This is one of my favorite cakes. I'm making it for a ladies' luncheon with my Aunt Gail and her dear friends, and also my cousin Tammy, which is my Aunt Gail's daughter. I've invited them over for just a little ladies' lunch, and I thought this strawberry cake would be a perfect thing to serve. Now I have some extract. This is vanilla extract, and I'm using 1 teaspoon. Now I have another ingredient that's completely optional, and this is strawberry extract, a half of a teaspoon. Just mix it up a little bit, and these wet ingredients are going into my eggs and my sugar. Now I'm going to mix this on low speed just until it's blended. There we go. Now I've got my dry ingredients. I've already measured out 2 cups of cake flour. The cake flour makes a difference when you make a cake. It's just going to make a more tender and fluffy cake. But if you don't have cake flour, all purpose will be just fine. Now I'm measuring out 2 teaspoons of baking powder just to balance out all the sweet that's going on. I've got a pinch of salt, or you can use 1/4 teaspoon. You need a little bit of salt with your sweet. It just helps to balance those flavors out. Now I'm not going to sift this. I'm just going to whisk it together. Now I'm going to add this flour mixture 1/3 at a time. So we're going to add this 3 different times. After each addition, I'm going to mix it on low speed just until it comes together. Don't overmix it. Now I'm just going to scrape the sides of the bowl just to make sure that I got all of that flour incorporated, and I also want to just scrape the bottom because sometimes things like to hang out down there and not mix together with the group. Now, this is perfect. Now I've already prepared a 9-inch springform pan, and what I've done is just butter my pan. This is a non-stick, and I've also lined it with some parchment paper. Now let's talk about the strawberries. I've got some that I've already chopped, and I'm using about 12 ounces of strawberries. I'll tell you, if you want to find some really good strawberries, go to sweetgrownalabama.org, and you'll find fresh grown strawberries all over the state of Alabama. and they are fabulous. They're so much better than the ones that you can get from the grocery store. Now I'm taking half of this batter and I'm putting it into my cake pan. And I'm just going to spread it out. Make sure that it goes all the way to the edges. It doesn't have to be exact, just near and about half. And there we go. I've got half. And I've already chopped up half of the strawberries that I'm going to need. And I'm just going to sprinkle these strawberries all over my cake batter. Now, I'm going to pour the batter over the strawberries. I know somebody that might want to lick this bowl later. And once again, I'm going to go ahead and spread these out. Now I have the other half of strawberries. And I want to show you something that I've done. This is a real easy little trick, and it makes your cake so pretty. I've got my strawberry, and I'm just going to cut the top off, and I am going to cut a V in the strawberry. And I'll use that. And see what I've got here? It's like a heart, and they're so pretty on the top of this cake. Now I'm going to slice this. I'm going to put bottom side, or I guess it's top side down, and I'm going to make 4 cuts. And look, I've got little hearts. And I'm just going to lay these just haphazardly all over the cake. And there we go. The cake is going to puff up around these strawberries, and it just makes a beautiful presentation. Now I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. This cake will take anywhere from 50 minutes to an hour. Start watching it really closely at 50 minutes. And it's done once you insert a toothpick and it comes out clean. Well, my cake has finished cooking, and it smells amazing. And I've been letting this sit. I want it to cool just enough where I can handle this pan without burning my hands. Now, what I'm going to do is unlatch the top, and there we go. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip, and this is completely optional. You can serve this cake as is. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to show you in a minute how I'm going to garnish it, but it still needs to cool down just a little bit more. But if you want a really show-stopping cake and something that you're going to serve, say for entertaining like I am, I like to cut this dark edge off. It's very simple to do. You just do this. I've got a paring knife. That way you can see these beautiful strawberries on the inside. And there we go. Look how pretty that is. Now I'm going to let this cool down completely before I transfer this to my cake plate. If I try to remove this while it's still really warm, it could break in two, and I don't want to jeopardize this in any way. So I'm going to get this cleaned up, and you know what? There will be no waste with this. We will eat all of these edges. They're delicious, by the way. So stay with me. I'll show you how to garnish this, and then we'll be getting ready to serve our guests. Mm. My cake is almost ready. I've garnished it with a few fresh strawberries. I cut them in half and just place them flesh side down, and I like the green on them, and I just think it's pretty. I think it looks a little rustic and pretty, and I'm all about pretty. Now I have some powdered sugar. Isn't it beautiful? And I got some of that powdered sugar on the strawberries too because I like it. Now, believe it or not, what's going to happen is that the moisture from the strawberries is going to absorb the sugar, which makes this cake even better. But the cake itself will still have that powdery look from the powdered sugar. It's just spectacular. Now, I am going to serve this with some fresh whipped cream and also drizzle a little strawberry sauce over it. This is actually my strawberry freezer jam. I made this a few weeks ago. You can look for the recipe on Kathy's Southern Kitchen. And I've only got a little bit of this left, but it's thick and it's very sweet. So I'm just going to mix this with a little bit of water, and I'll put it into my serving dish, and I'll drizzle that on the cake slices. Oh, now, believe me, this is delicious just like it is, but hey, whipped cream, strawberry sauce, it's just wonderful. Now, don't leave me. I'll introduce you to my special guests. Oh, we have had such a good time today, and I want to take a moment and introduce these beautiful ladies to you. This is my beautiful Aunt Gail, and this is her friend, our friend, Miss Mona, and we have beautiful Miss Faye, and we have cousin Tammy, the one that I talk about so much in my videos. You are a blessing to me. Will you like this video and share it with your friends? And also you can follow me on Kathy's Southern Kitchen on Facebook and YouTube. Well, ladies, let's eat cake.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you. Beautiful. Oh, this is going to be so good.
Oh, that is good.